Hey YouTube, what's going on? How's it going? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you are, I want to thank you for checking out my YouTube channel and my videos. So if you are a subscriber, hey, I want to thank you for being a subscriber and and being interested in the content that I put up here. So if you're already a subscriber and you already clicked on the bell, why don't you go ahead and like or dislike the videos that I put up. Do a thumbs up, thumbs down, and even comment on the videos if you have any questions, or you just want to chit chat about a particular subject, whatever. Go ahead and do that. And I know it's kind of hard to watch a video and do a thumbs up or thumbs down. I watch lots of videos too, and I sometimes, or a lot of times, I'm lazy to, just to even click the thumbs up or thumbs down button or even send comments. But on occasion, I do it. But if you feel the urge to do it, go ahead and do that. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you think. Leave me a comment. For those of you who've caught my channel for the first time, I want to thank you also for coming onto my channel, and go ahead and subscribe to my video, subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell so you can get the latest videos as I put them up. I do try to do them every once a week, although I haven't been very consistent with that just yet. I'll eventually I'll be doing that. So if you like the content that I put on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Click the bell button. Dislike the videos. Subscribe. Do your do your response in the response part, and I'll get back to you. So the title of this video is I've been kind of thinking about the title of it, and I think it sounds pretty catchy. It's called "Don't Mess Up or Get Messed Up." So why do I say that? Well, I say that because I'm pretty much going to talk about subjects like I'll briefly talk about things that I've messed up on, while being out here as a truck driver. Some things that I've heard that other people have messed up on, and things like that. So I've been a truck driver now for officially about 2 years now, and so I'm with for those of you who don't know, I'm with Werner, and I've been with Werner for officially 2 years now. It's this month here in March, 2 years that I've been with Werner, and I figured I would just just talk about my experiences with Werner so far, and just tell you, sometimes let you know that everything is not always peaches and cream out here on the road. And that goes pretty much anywhere. If you're gonna go to a trucking company or anything like that, pretty much anywhere. I mean, that's just how life is. I mean, not every day is gonna be the best. So you gotta learn to make the best of what you do. So, but I've been like I said, been with Werner for 2 years, and so just some of the things that I've done, which I think that if you're a beginning truck driver, or you're looking for information, just some of the things that I've done that you should watch out for, especially with Werner, is making sure that you do your logs correctly. Excuse me. Do your logs correctly. I've had it talking to a few times about logs being correct. And it's just sometimes you get wrapped up in the game a little bit, and so like sometimes you might forget to change the status, or you don't watch your you don't watch your clock effectively enough, things of that nature. One thing that I highly would recommend you new drivers is that you learn to take control of your activities on your truck. What I mean by that is that you know, don't depending on on what the situation is and things like that, don't let others try to tell you you know, how to drive, you know, how to run your truck. I'm saying this in regards to when it comes down to mostly when it comes down to your clock, because I've gotten in trouble with that during my career. I've actually been suspended for a few days because of my because I violated the clock on my electronic logs, and it was just because, you know, I was trying to you know, pretty much just trying to please my fleet manager. You know, I figured, well, you know, he's my supervisor, and you know, he's telling me that I need to do this, need to do that, and so, you know, I kind of, you know, did what he told me to, even though I knew that I didn't have enough time to you know, to make it to where he wanted me to go. Pretty much what it was is that I had an assignment in Southern California, and I had to go clear across I had probably about 60 or 70 something miles across Southern California to go pick up a load, where I only had enough time to get, you know, to get from point A to point B, you know, down there, and you know, hang out and wait for my, you know, pick up the load, and also wait for my clock to reset. And you know, close to the time when I got to the shipper, I was given another load, which had me go back to the original area where I was at. You know, I knew that I didn't have no time to you know, to get back, and I let my fleet manager know, and pretty much he was just like, well, you know, you gotta get on over there, and I'm like, well, I don't have no place to park, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's like I couldn't just park out in the middle of the street nowhere. I couldn't park on the side of the road, and so it just, you know, the only thing that I could do was just you know, keep driving until I found a place that I could park, which was our terminal out there in Fontana, you know. And so I had to do that, but I went over the clock time for my logs. Now, typically, if you get into a situation like that, you know, typically they'll you know, kind of work with you with that and be like, well, okay, well, seeing as how it wasn't done on purpose, you know, blah blah blah, you know, we'll let you go on that. That wasn't the case for me, because I had went over. They just totally disregarded that, you know, and my fleet manager at the time, he didn't even like, you know, really, you know, help out the situation. You know, he was pretty much like, well, you know, pretty much it was, you know, I was on my own there. Well, you know, you could have found a place, and so I ended up losing a couple of days, 3 or 4 days, because I, you know, I couldn't find a place to park. But you know, just be mindful of that. Try your very best to not, you know, violate your laws, because it is very important that you don't, you know, that you do everything according to the book. But what I mean by don't let nobody, you know, get you in a situation to where you're gonna get into trouble like that. That's where I'm saying, you know, don't let nobody tell you, you know, how to run your truck, how to drive your truck, because if you know that you're not going to be able to, you know, to make something, and they're telling you that you need to do this, you need to do that, but you know that by doing it you can get in trouble, step up and say something. You don't need to be rude about it, you know, but just be, you know, be respectful and polite about it, and just, you know, say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, I can't do what you're telling me to do because of, you know, A and B, and if you really wanted me to really do this, I can do this whenever I am, whenever I'm able to do it. But I cannot do what you're asking me to do at this time. So as long as you're doing that, and then you stick to what you're saying that you're going to do, for somebody to to really nail you, it's going to be slim to none. But if you do what they tell you to do, and then you end up messing up, then a lot of times they may just throw you under the bus per se, and leave you out there with the sharks, to fend for yourself. And good luck with that. I should have wrote a lot of the stuff down, but I'm just going off the top of my head here. But I gotten in trouble also, actually, quite recently. I was if you don't know, I was a trainer for a little while, and I'm no longer a trainer, and so I got removed as a trainer just because, what I call is technicalities with some of the, with my conduct, pretty much. I challenged some of the some of the things that was said about me, and all that kind of stuff, and where I'm not totally innocent about what has happened. I stood up to to try to straighten out some information, and pretty much it gotten out of control to where ultimately it was just that they wanted to remove me from training. But not going into too many details about it, but we I had a little bout with my supervisor and stuff like that. And so we just had a difference of opinions and stuff like that. But nonetheless, because of the situations that I've been in, and the way that I've handled them, and the way that things are looking, he decided to remove me from being a trainer, which kind of sucks. And because I did I actually enjoyed being a trainer. But yeah, just be careful of what you do. Don't if at all possible, don't try to rock the boat too bad. Stand up where you need to stand up, but try to do what's expected of you, or what's being asked of you to do, as long as it's not anything that's gonna trap you to get you into deeper trouble. Something else. Oh, well, we're coming out of the winter season, and of course every winter, you hear about all these major winter accidents, involving snow and stuff like that. After in the warmer seasons, where you got the rain and stuff like that, it's no different. No snow, there's no ice, no sleet and stuff like that. But you still have to be careful out here on the roads. Be very, very careful. You never know. You never know what day is going to be the day that you're going to be involved in an accident. But if you pay attention to what you're doing, and you take every necessary precaution, the chances of you getting into an accident, getting hurt, hurting somebody else, or destroying property and stuff like that can dramatically go down when you constantly are paying attention to your surroundings and watching what you are doing. That means don't go around, don't speed, stay, don't go over the speed limit. Stay at the speed limit or below. And don't go too slow, because that's also just as dangerous to go too slow. But just stay at a speed that's comfortable for you and safe. And also, check your mirrors constantly. Check your mirrors constantly. Scan everything around you, everything that's in view of your windshield, your side mirrors, everything. Scan and watch and look for every detail. That's going to be very important to helping you stay out of sticky situations. Okay, they say leave yourself an out. That means leave yourself a buffer of space from the front to the back and the front and both sides. It's kind of difficult when you're in traffic, but just try to make the necessary adjustments and changes like that, if at all possible. So that if something does happen, you are able to switch lanes if you need to, or you got that extra distance to stop if somebody stops in front of you or things like that. So just be mindful of that. Don't try to run people off the road or block people. Only what I would say, only in special circumstances would I ever attempt to try and keep somebody from getting in the space that's around me. But if any of that happens, you just back off, let them get in, try to regain that space again. But in regards to the weather and the traffic and stuff like that, the winter time is really, really bad. And so you're hearing about all these major accidents because of the snow and the fog and the icy conditions and stuff like that. When you got all these things playing all together, it does have a recipe for having major accidents. I mean, you can look on YouTube and see all these accidents and stuff like that. You get these big trucks and everything, and these 300-car pileups on the freeway because people keep driving fast. They drive fast. They don't give themselves space in between them to be able to make any kind of adjustments, or give that distance so that they can slow down and avoid running into people. So be very careful. Think about what you're doing out there. Look at the weather. If it's really, really bad, just hang it up for the day, or for the duration of the time that the storm is brewing and doing things. Don't risk, if it looks a little sketchy out there, don't risk going out there and trying to do it. I do it on occasion, just because it's like, well, it seems to be okay. I can handle that. If you think you can handle it and it's not too bad, then you might want to try to go out there. But if you have any kind of doubts that maybe it might be a little bit too bad, then you might want to either just pull over or just not even go anywhere at all. Yeah, and so I'll tell you a quick story that I was on one of the, what was it? I think I was on I-80 in Nebraska. It was either Nebraska or Wyoming. Wyoming is very notorious for the I-80 in Wyoming is very notorious for large pileups because of the weather conditions there. You got the snow, you got the ice, you got the wind and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty dangerous out there. So you just gotta watch your loads, watch the traffic in front of you, especially there. But anyways, I was on I-80, and I think it was either Nebraska or it was Wyoming, one of the two. And it was a little bit of ice on the roads, and I was going down the freeway, and I saw a pickup truck with a camper. And what had happened with this vehicle is that it kind of spun out on the freeway. So what happened was, what appears to have happened was that the pickup truck and the camper kind of slid off the freeway, and the person driving the truck overcorrected, came back onto the freeway, and he was now perpendicular on the freeway to where, like, the left lane was totally blocked, and his trailer was sitting out there on the shoulder. Well, as I roll up, and it must have just happened because I was like one of the first people to come up on this guy's truck, and so I'm like, oh dang. So I'm doing everything I can to to slow down and ensure that I don't hit him. I mean, I was I was kind of nervous because it was icy out there, and so I'm trying to slow down. I'm downshifting and stuff like that, and I'm slipping a little bit. I got the truck stopped, and I didn't even hit the person. I still had plenty of room. But what I was then worried about was the traffic behind me. I look in my rearview mirror and I see other trucks coming in, and they're coming in hot, boy, I'm telling you. And the only thing that I can think is, oh man, I'm gonna get rear-ended. But fortunately, nobody got into an accident. Which brings me to another tip. If you ever have to stop like abruptly or anything like that, never pull your trailer brake. Don't do that. Don't do that. And this particular that story that I was telling you about, where everybody was sliding behind me, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get rear-ended. Well, one of the other drivers, he panicked, and he thought that he was gonna hit somebody. So he's slamming on brakes and he's sliding on ice. Okay, and what he did was he pulled his trailer brake. When you do that, your trailer is going to lock up, and you're going to lose traction control. And what's going to happen is that your trailer is going to jackknife. And I was looking at this in my rearview mirror. He pulled that trailer brake, and as soon as he did that, his wheels locked up, and his trailer started to swing around his truck. And I thought, oh man, his trailer's gonna smack me. But fortunately, nothing like that. So that was a fortunate case. But be careful out there on these roads, okay? You don't want to do that. Do these kinds of things. So stay safe. Stay under the speed limit, depending on the conditions. Don't go around the corners too fast. That's another thing. People are tipping their trucks over because they're going around the corners too fast. And you gotta remember that these trucks have a high center of gravity. A high center of gravity means that the weight distribution on these trucks sit very high. So what happens is that when you're going around a corner with your weight sitting up high off the ground, stability goes out the door, which means that the weight is not sitting low enough to maintain your tires on, to keep it on the ground. When it sits up high, it makes it so much easier to tip the vehicle over. So don't do that. The last time that I was in the terminal, I noticed, and this is March, and the last time I was in the terminal, I see that there's been 10 rollovers with just Werner alone. 10 rollovers. Now this is the third month, and already got 10 trucks that are recorded as rollover. Be careful out there. You don't want to be that person that tipped over the truck. That's going to be man. I believe that'd be like you're done. They would just, you're gone. So yeah. Yeah, so, and jeez, it's already, I'm trying to make these videos short, and I guess I just keep rambling on about stuff, but something else here. I've heard how, people should check their empty trailers. And when I heard this from another trucker, I was like, man, that is important. I've been doing it before, but it didn't hit me about how important it really is until this other person had mentioned it on his channel. And that's checking your trailer, especially when it's empty. And you're checking mainly for stowaways. You're checking to see that nobody's hitching a ride in the back of your trailer, especially when you're down by the border or anywhere close by the border. If you stop somewhere and let's say you don't check the inside of the trailer, especially down there by the border, you got people that like to smuggle people across the border into the U.S. So if you're unaware that somebody has piled up in your trailer, you might want to double check and open up your trailers and just check to make sure that nothing has been placed in the trailer that shouldn't be there, and make sure that also that nobody is also hiding back there. Because if you go through one of those little checkpoints, or if you get pulled over and the police want to look in your trailer, and if they find stuff, contraband that shouldn't be in your trailer, or if they find people in your trailer back there, you're going to be busted for that, and you're going to lose your license. So be very careful of that. And like I said, I should have wrote down some other stuff, because I had a whole laundry list of stuff in my head. But as you see, it's already 25 minutes into it. so yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And so if you thought that this was pretty interesting, or you got something out of it, go ahead and leave a comment, thumbs up on the video, like and subscribe to the video. Let me know what I should improve on. Let me know if there's some content that you'd like for me to talk about, and I'll probably put a video together on that content. Give me some content to talk about, and I'll see about talking about it if I have some knowledge on it. But I want to thank you all for sticking with the video, and I hope I didn't bore you. I hope I'm entertaining, and I'm learning to be more charismatic, I guess, on camera. So but it'll get better as I do this more. It'll get better. Yeah, so you all have a good one. God bless you, and I hope that your days are filled with blessings, and that you're safe, and just let you know that Jesus does love you. God loves you no matter what you've done, and just understand that you have a Savior who has wiped away all your sins. All right, so be happy with that. Be joyful. Be joyful every day that you are able to, that you're not you're not dead in the grave. Okay, so you have a good one. And I'm gonna have another YouTube channel pretty soon, and it's I'm gonna have some other content that I'm gonna be sharing on that one. I'll fill you in on that one once I get that up and running. But I'm gonna have a secondary YouTube channel that's gonna be focusing on other content, other than what I have here on this channel. So look out for that. And like I said, have a good one. I'll talk to y'all again later. Peace.